Welcome back to Campfire Scare Stories. Tonight, I invite you to gather close and let your imagination wander into the unknown. This is a tale steeped in mystery and sorrow, a story of a cursed place known as the Whispering Hollow. It all began in a secluded village tucked away between dense, ancient woods in rural France. The villagers spoke in hushed tones about an old, gnarled oak they called the Whispering Tree. They believed it was cursed. Its twisted branches groaned and creaked at night, as though it were whispering secrets of an age long past. They said the tree was the resting place of a vengeful spirit, a woman wronged so terribly that her sorrow turned to malice, and her soul was forever bound to the tree. Now let me tell you about Elias, a curious traveler with a rational mind. When he arrived in that quiet village, he dismissed the locals' warnings as nothing more than superstitious lore, yet his heart, eager for adventure, urged him to uncover the truth. Determined to solve the mystery for himself, Elias chose to spend one fateful night beneath the looming, spectral branches of the Whispering Tree. As midnight crept over the land, Elias settled himself against the ancient oak. The moon hung low in the sky, casting pale, ghostly light across the frost-laden ground. At first all was calm, the gentle sigh of the wind, the soft rustle of leaves. But then, as if stirred by unseen hands, the tree began to murmur. Its creaks and groans grew into indistinct whispers that seemed to call his name. A chill crept over Elias, but his curiosity burned brighter than his fear. In that moment, the ground trembled softly beneath him. From the depths of the tree's vast hollow, a low, guttural voice emerged, whispering a single command: "Leave this place." Elias laughed at the sound, attributing it to his overactive imagination. But as seconds passed, the whispers sharpened into insistent warnings, and the air grew as cold as the void between stars. Then, from the darkness among the tangled branches, a figure slowly materialized, a woman draped in tattered white robes, her face hidden beneath a flowing, grim veil. Her eyes, however, shone with a ferocious, unnatural light, and her thin, pale lips curled into a sinister smile. She extended a long, claw-like finger, and with a touch as cold as death, brushed against Elias's shoulder. In that instant, a searing pain shot through him as though his very soul were being torn asunder. He tried to scream, but no sound could escape his parched throat. The woman leaned in close, her breath a frosty whisper against his ear, murmuring, "You should have listened." Then, as suddenly as she had appeared, she vanished into the dark recesses of the tree, leaving Elias shivering and broken beneath its weight. When dawn finally broke over the village, the horror of that night was revealed. The villagers discovered Elias's lifeless body beneath the Whispering Tree. His eyes were frozen wide in perpetual terror, and his face bore a silent scream that would haunt those who saw it for years to come. The tree's whispers, once a quiet murmur, now seemed to echo louder throughout the village. From that day on, the legend of the Whispering Hollow grew, and so did the fear. But the story did not end with Elias. The villagers began to speak of recurring strange occurrences: an unnatural chill on moonless nights, the distant sound of a woman sobbing echoing through the woods, and sightings of a spectral figure wandering near the old oak. Some elders claimed that on certain nights, if you pressed your ear to the tree, you could hear not only warnings, but also pleas, a desperate cry for justice and release from an ancient curse. The local priest, troubled by these events, organized prayer vigils and exorcisms, but nothing could silence the tree's lament. Some even believed that the curse was tied to a forgotten tragedy, a betrayal long ago that had damned the spirit to roam these woods for eternity. And still, the mystery deepened. Was the specter truly a restless soul, or was it something far more malignant, a manifestation of the very darkness that lay hidden in the hearts of men? In the quiet hours after midnight, the villagers would gather around their own hearths, each one haunted by the memory of Elias and the cursed oak. They wondered if the spirit might one day return to claim more souls, or if the curse would finally be lifted, leaving behind only a trail of sorrow and unanswered questions. As you listen to this tale, ask yourself, what if the legends are true? What if there truly exists a place where the boundary between the living and the dead is so thin that a single whisper can unleash unspeakable terror? Perhaps, deep in the silence of the woods, the spirit of the Whispering Hollow still awaits, longing for a chance at vengeance or redemption. Thank you for joining me around the fire tonight. What do you believe the curse of the Whispering Tree signifies? Was Elias's fate a punishment for a long-forgotten sin, or is the spirit merely a manifestation of grief and despair? Share your thoughts in the comments below. I'd love to hear your theories. If you enjoyed this tale, please hit that like button, subscribe, and share this story with anyone brave enough to listen. Until next time, stay warm, stay safe, and remember, sometimes the darkest secrets lie in the whisper of the wind.